to an end. You've reached a stop. And we're going to get to see a Huskar. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, I was listening more so than talking. But you were having a very interesting discussion, I think, unless I'm misremembering, about Huskar and the state of him in this patch, correct?
Yeah, he's one of those trick picks that you can pull out very late in a draft. If you see the enemy team has a hell of a lot of magic damage, but not very much physical.
Right.
This is not that kind of game, I would say. And I think once again, it's for style. This is not a good Huskar pick in my opinion. He's good against Zeus. He's good against Skywrath, but both Bloodseeker with his pure damage from Blood Rate and Rupture. Axe is also good against him, as well as the Brute if he goes for a physical damage build. So, yeah, that's probably going to be. They're in it to entertain in this game and of course to reduce the number of unpicked heroes in the tournament, I guess. I do believe this is the first Huskar pick in the European qualifiers, and perhaps also the first Zeus. I am not 100% sure if we've seen that. I've seen Bloodseeker, I've seen Brood, Axe, Sky. I think I've seen. We have had Zeus. So Crystal Maiden might be the
There's only like 4 or 5 heroes that haven't been played
at all.
Yeah. Elder Titan, Necrophos, we're getting word from production.
Death Prophet, I remember.
Death Prophet.
Wraith King, would you believe
yes,
was
Wraith
also
King,
one of them. And I can't remember the 5th. But maybe they'll let us know.
It might have been Huskar. You may be right.
I don't think so. He was picked at least in the Chinese qualifiers, I do believe, as they're going to smoke in for a level 1 fight here. Alliance are not there. As a matter of fact, Admiral Bulldog is walking rounds in the base. Terrorblade. Not that surprising. That hero is terrible. All right.
Well, PR's primary goal in this final game is to ruin most unpicked hero predictions. And I by the way, I love your conspiracy theory, your tinfoil hat thought on the idea that the last game, even though they end up winning and complete... Oh, and by the way, we're going to see an early kill on Loda. Who Loda, by the way, is playing on the Broodmother. So if there was any question at all as to how seriously this game was going to be taken, that should answer it for you. But I love your tinfoil hat theory that last game was just all about compendiums, all about getting above the 1,000 GPM, all about getting the Roshan prediction right, etc.
I actually think because of that last game, no one is going to get a perfect score if they picked Europe as their region. I really doubt anyone in their right mind would have predicted over 1,000 GPM, which is super unusual. Pretty much only Alchemist or an absolutely ridiculously farmed Anti-Mage or Illusion carry like PL super late game maybe is able to accomplish that. But PR did manage, of course, with their Alch as well as the Roshan. So dreams were shattered. Conspiracy is that Valve want people to get less points.
Dit Yara and Ake trading blows. We're going to see the Bloodseeker followed up. Almost brought him down, as a matter of fact. And if nothing else, I'm looking forward to seeing the Bloodseeker and the Zeus interaction, being able to buff up his damage, then Thunder God's Wrath, and Bulldog actually almost dying up at top as well. But yeah, being able to use that, and then you rush in when you have that many heroes that are all low, you rush in and with Thirst, and you are just moving at race car speed. So, if nothing else, it should be a rather entertaining game.
Bottom lane is a really weird matchup. Clock against Brood. This is a lane Brood should probably win. I've seen it before, though, at the Summit, I think, where Universe's Clock did very, very well in this matchup on the other lane. And this time Cheshire Cat has a head start, so he might just flat out win the lane because of that. As far as the mid goes, they are definitely going to be pressuring him very nicely as top lane Mad is going to be brought down. This is not a nice lane for Zeus, the slow. Actually didn't even need the Arctic Burn there. It wasn't even expended. Sunlight just took a fistfight with him with Shadow Strike and won.
Well, for now, 1-0. And let's see, games 1,000 GPM hero by hero. 13 with Alchemist, 2 with Tiny, Sven, and it's Finn. That's kind of surprising. Sven sneaking in there and having 1 GPM. I'm going to guess that's across all patches, so history of Dota being made right there.
Illusion-based carry has never done that. That's surprising. Unless you want to count Anti-Mage with Manta, but that is not. Yeah. I think she can accomplish it. I really do think you can get 1,000 GPM with that hero, as Bulldog is going to get harassed a lot here. Zeus is there to help, but he is no help at all. Bulldog will definitely be dying here as the Shadow Strike, actually the right click will finish him off. Sun's Light, almost said Sun's Fan. He's not playing that co-op, he ain't that good. He's going to blink away, and Mad is going to force away King R. Still a 1-for-0 here for PR.
Much love to Sun. We just got production in our ear, letting us know that the TI5 prize pool, thanks to you guys and your love for hats, has now eclipsed the 10 million mark as we do see another kill tallied in mid. This time it will be Alliance finally making their way onto the board, bringing down the Huskar. But yeah, so 10 million! 10 million! And we still have how many days? What is it, like 40, 50, something like that days until TI, maybe even more?
Many.
A whole bunch.
Whole lot of many days.
We still have a whole nother set of immortals, man. Like, coming up to the release of the compendium, I thought 15 mil was a very realistic number to shoot for. I'm getting to the point I'm going to be shocked if it's less than like 18. Like, really and truly, by the time all is said and done.
It's super hard to predict, and yeah, I don't know really. I would definitely, I can't remember what my prediction was. I think it was 17.5 or something that I was guessing, but based on nothing since we had no information of what was coming with the compendium, but it's definitely been doing very well so far. So in a way a little bit ironic that we're talking about the compendium when we're watching 2 out of the 5 teams of this group that will not have a shot at all that money. Unfortunately, both Alliance and PR are eliminated if you're just tuning in and just playing for basically shits and giggles and the joy of the fans.
Yeah, don't know there's a whole lot of joy. I mean, you know, PR was basically out of this a long time ago. We are going to see the fight play itself out, but yeah, 5-1 as PR piles it on. But we saw PR basically be eliminated for all intents and purposes last night, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure that barring like nothing but a 2 sweep, we are going to have an engagement on Dit Yara, who was our 1,000 gold alchemist, 1,000 GPM alchemist last game. And I just can't help but think more about the overall state of things as opposed to the fight. We are going to see King R end up dropping. Here comes J4. He's going to throw out and catch Pie Cat with Cheshire Cat there to donk him on the nose with his hook. But it's pretty sloppy play all across the board.
Look at how farmed Cheshire Cat is compared to everyone else. He has 38 CS in that bot lane. That can't be Spiderlings, really, because Clockwork deals horribly with them. Can't really kill them with the Rocket Flare. They just heal up in the web. So he has owned Loda in this early laning stage after the good beginning he did get. Actually, I guess he didn't even contribute to the first anything. The first blood he doesn't even have an assist from. He just went into mid and got that kill. So maybe he got some AoE gold. I don't know.
PR continuing to pressure out Admiral Bulldog. 3-0 on that quad, by the way, so she's had quite an effective lane. Skywrath Mage has picked up a couple of kills, as has the Wyvern. Like you said, not just is he doing that, is Cheshire Cat leading. He's leading like by a lot, 42 to 23 in terms of discrepancy. Now Bulldog caught from behind by the Wyvern. AK is going to be there to try to help things out. They will be able to track down Sunlight. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to catch up with the Maiden, though. And King R dealing a fair amount of damage before deciding to tuck under his own tower on his own. There's going to be the Rupture, though, and let's see. Yep, there is the Blood Ride, and King R, beautiful save on himself. Now Cheshire Cat there to try to follow it up. He's going to be... No, he can't drop the cogs. He got silenced. So both teams just turning this top lane into a bit of a bloodbath. There's going to be the hook. And
bad hook.
Let's see if they can finish it off.
They will.
Yep.
Wow.
Wow!
And Aki is going to die as well to Sunlight. If you didn't know, you can tell.
I don't think that they should count, by the way. I don't think they should count as games on Broodmother and Bloodseeker.
You can really tell that there is not much on the line here. Completely chaotic, just bloodlust all over the map. 14 kills in 6 minutes between these two lineups is just ridiculous. This is not two lineups that are looking to fight super early, really. Maybe the Dire somewhat with the Crystal Maiden Wyvern supports, but the Zeus Skywrath not really the best duo for that and doesn't really have that good synergy with the rest of their team. I mean, hopefully the players are having somewhat of a good time just messing around a little bit, at least to, like you said, just release the stress and...
I don't think there's a lot of smiling.
And move on. Obviously not, but they're at least playing the game and...
Oh, there's the Blood
Ride. Putting on a show for us.
After the Rupture, he will run right outside of it. He's going to try to turn around and fight it out. Jumps on him and trying to get some damage done. He will be saved by the Wyvern, and now Ake trying to fight uphill. A little bit of lag there. J4 does end up dropping. And Mad now the next of them, and Sonic Wave will finish him off. A double kill for Sunlight, and Sunlight is having quite a good game at 6-1 and 2 at 7 minutes in, averaging just under a kill a minute. And yeah, I mean, is it even worthwhile to try to break something like this down? Like, I honestly don't think you can.
I think we're going to have another record in this game, by the way. I think this is going to be the fastest Midas on Clockwork, probably by 2 minutes or more. He's 100 gold away, minutes 7:30. The only way to really accomplish this is either playing a 1v1 lane in the bottom lane where you get free farm, or play a safe lane one-on-one. But Clock never has 56 CS minutes 7.
Yep.
I wonder how much faster that is than the previous record. I would guess 2 minutes or something. As Loda, it's going to get jumped on. He will stay alive in the web.
No dust. Got to get that detection, boys. But yeah, that was 7:35 is the moment he picked that up. And Bulldog looking for a target. He'll find it. It's going to be Sunlight. There's the Battle Hunger. He's going to try to follow it up. PR's got help on the high ground, though. And Bulldog regretting his decision immediately. A lot of damage was done to Sunlight, but okay, trying to do what he can. Bloodright's going to be there. Highcat trying to follow it up. Hit the Rupture as well on the high ground. We got a kill. That's the Clockwork taking a dip, and Sunlight dips into the Roche pit, but ends up dropping as well. Now King R's turn as PR gives up a 4-for-1. So they did manage to bring down the big bad dog, but it cost them dearly.
I mean, I don't know. Radiant won that fight, I think.
Radiant is Sentinel won.
I mean, I actually have no idea what's going on in this game, and I think neither of the teams does. They're just running around, looking for fights, just seeing whatever they could get away with and just casting their spells and just playing. I guess going into the game, they're just like, what hero do you want to play? All right, you get it, basically.
I want Mass Dagon. Mass Dagon on both sides. I want to have Laser Wars. I want it to look like a Daylight Rave when all is said and done. Don't think I'm going to get it, but Bucking Mad is at least going to be able to do that. Midas is out on Loda too, by the way. So Loda says, you know what? It's not as quick as yours, but here's your reprisal, Midas. Make sure in case we go late game, I've got the gold game we need.
There we go.
Yeah, that was not quite.
Only 30 seconds. Wow. Jesse Va, I think, is... Oh, what team was it Jesse Va played on? I can't remember.
I remember the name, but only barely. Very barely.
It was one of the SEA teams, I do believe, but I can't remember which one. And Highcat's going to get jumped on by Sunlight. Probably just burst down here. But speaking of burst, say goodbye to your Quap as well.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold picked up as well.
He was in Mineski, that is right.
There you go.
Thank you, production. Buyback from the Bloodseeker. Because why not, as they're going to go in on the Skywrath. Ake's coming in to get one kill. They might actually get more. Pycat is pretty strong right now, but so is Dityara, just laying into Bulldog. Has the armlet. Pycat's even going to turn on his own teammate here. Nice cold embrace as well. Really, King R showcasing some pretty solid skill on the Winter Wyvern, to be honest. And Dityara's not done. There's another buyback from a hero that can't deal damage to the Huskar. He's porting in to look at him. And might actually manage. Mistiming on the armlet toggle.
That was a valiant effort.
Worked out.
At least it got a kill. You know, I'm pretty sure Scourge won that one, I think.
I love you say Scourge. That's so old school.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I never even played it.
Oh, you didn't?
Literally not one. Take it back. I literally played one game, and I can't even remember under what circumstance. I think it was like in a LAN cafe somewhere way back in the day. But Dota 2 was my first Dota experience. But yes, I just like Sentinel and Scourge. I think those are cool names.
Yeah, they really were. They managed to kill Loda in the bot lane with Clock as well as Quap, and Cheshire Cat is continuing to look to break records as he is closing in on what I believe is also the earliest 100 CS mark on Clockwork if he keeps this rate up by, I'm gonna guess, 2 minutes. Probably also gonna be wrong on that one, but
let's say
what a game, though. Like, this is just absolute madness.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's madness. It's in the literally pub uncontrolled madness way. Like, you know, obviously they're communicating, but it feels like it's just like, hey, where you want to go? Top lane? And that's about the extent of the thought process.
C hero, gank hero.
Exactly.
Pycat wants to gank CM. That's because he saw her. And Bloodright level 1. All right, she is
dead. She came close. Yeah, hook shot and Cheshire Cat.
Damn, it's Splinterglass dealing so much damage because he's blood raged up and will fall instantly. Ake now getting Wyvern Winter's Cursed, and he'll be killed off by Ake. Bulldog, he's
Don't. It took him a minute. He had to practice, you know. He had to get warmed up, get stretched, and you know that's a big jump. He had to stretch his legs.
He didn't want to calling blade an ice block. He wanted to wait for once again the style points. That's a good smiley for the moment. A little bit of salt for that face.
Well, 16 to 21, and both teams continuing to play it out. Good to see at least some of the players, regardless of how they're feeling. At the very least, they're trying to have fun with the emotes and the such. And race car. Blood right? Nah, no problem. Oh, no, there's.
He ain't done yet. I don't know. Yeah, he's also getting out. Oh, maybe not. He's just okay.
Just blown to pieces.
I think Pycat was blood raged up and got Husker ultied. Or no, he was that a Husker ulti?
Yeah,
it was.
It was Husker ulti. That's freaking hilarious. Runs up, chops a couple of times, then there's just an explosion of particle effects on his dead Bloodseeker.
Come on, Clockwork. 5 CS to go. He's setting records. He's looking for a kill on Aki, though. He's just going to go for it, and he will find him because of the high ground ward. Easy kill. Taking some damage, though.
Yeah, nah, not quite.
But Zeus will not be able to bring him down with the ult. And he's porting out.
Well, you want to talk about items? I mean, we've got a medallion up on loader right now. We can see kind of all over the place in terms of build itemization. Not the best. I guess Dityaraz building fairly legit. He's got an armlet and maybe going for a mask, or not a Mask of Madness, but a Helm of the Dominator next as he's picked up his Helm of Iron Will. Looks like it's going to be a point booster out on Sunlight. We'll see what that's going to turn into, if it's going to end up being a Scepter or otherwise. But yeah, if you're just tuning in, the reason we're talking like this about the game is both these teams have had their chances at TI5 cut off at the knees, and if you know anything about them, you can see what's been drafted and probably guess that. Rupture on the Sunlight Dota. Blood right. He's able to skirt out of it. A lot of damage, though. A lot of right click. And up, here comes Cheshire Cat. Unable to do much but cut them off from the high ground, though. So Alliance happy to take the solo pick off, getting quad.
And what are PR getting at the same time? They're looking to push the tier 1 top with Ditya. That is definitely going to be claimed easily here. Cheshire Cat. What was it?
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
No one has ever got even 90 last hits by the 15-minute mark.
Good job.
Well, that's a record, and you can't say it's like, oh, it's just a qualifier. This is the TI5 qualifiers, man. This is as legit as it gets. So, PR writing some names into some record books. I like it. If you're gonna go out, man, go out with a flourish.
Yeah, they are getting a lot of style points for this best of 2, I think. They've been doing a lot of funky shit in these games, and regardless of how this one goes, I guess might have won some new fans over by not just, you know, you're out. At least they play to win.
I love PR. I always have. They're just one of those upstart scrappy teams that, I mean, unless they beat your team, they're one of those teams that you root for, except when they're playing your team, because you know they can hang a loss on just about anyone on any given day. Unfortunately, when the level of play was elevated, you know, just unable to answer the call this time around. And they actually have the problem of a lot of high turnover of players that run under the Power Rangers organization name. But nonetheless, they've maintained a distinctive style. They've maintained a distinctive character that's really all their own. And I really wanted to see them do well in this quali. And they're going to be coming out at the very, very bottom of the standings, unfortunately for them. But nonetheless, you know, they made it here, and like you said,
if they win this 2-0, they're actually not bottom of the standings.
Really? That would be Burden then?
Then Alliance and Burden are tied for last with 3 points. And PR will have 4.
How weird is that, by the way? That, you know, just for sake of argument, let's say Alliance loses this, and they end up tied for last with Burden. Hold that thought. As C4 blown to bits, chopped by Admiral Bulldog. But think about, obviously, this Alliance squad, which has 3 former TI winners on it, and then 2 more that know the main stage. They know what that looks like, tastes like, feels like. Then on Burden, you've got Sing Sing, and who's the other one? I always forget on Burden.
Come With Me?
Yeah, Come With... Well, did Come With Me play in TI1?
Yes, he played for Online Kingdom.
Okay, so yes, you've got him, and it seems like there's somebody else I always miss on Burden. I don't know why.
Might be Sochka. He also played in TI1, I believe, for... What was the French team called in that tournament? It is eluding me.
Online Kingdom?
No, that was coming with Ace Team. Pyrus Gaming. There we go. Yes.
Anyway, so if that ends up coming to pass, the bottom teams in this group could be populated with no less than 8 people who have tasted the main stage before, 3 of which have lifted that Aegis up at some point. So just goes to show things change. Things absolutely change, and new stars rise each and every day. And looks like PR are going to try to sneak themselves to Roche.
Yeah, Huskar is a great hero for this Roche. Heals it up very easily, kills it very fast by dropping low on health, and needs to be a little bit careful not to get opened on by Alliance, but since they're smoked up in here, they're going to get some information. Bulldog's going to jump in, but so is the Clockwork.
Clock hitting the hook. There's going to be a Sonic Wave. Spin uphill. Didn't really accomplish much. I guess it kind of did. Helped secure a couple of kills. Okay, next on the list, he's Downskis. 3-0. This should... Oh, look at Loda trying to be cute. Sorry, Loda. Roche says bash, bash, bash. Loda might be able to try to sneak in here, though.
They have a sentry, else Roche wouldn't be hitting him.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
Hashtag Dota 2 True Sight mechanics.
Oh, no. Yeah, Roche has True Sight.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Not for Roche. You're right. Roche has True Sight, but every other neutral creep, if you do have True Sight there, the creeps will actually attack you. They take advantage of the True Sight for some reason. I am almost 100% certain that was not the case in Dota 1, but it's 5 years ago. It's been a long ride.
It absolutely has.
Dota 2 since then. And there are still some things that are deliberately just different. They are not looking for 100% parity, I do believe, between every single hero and every single mechanic, but obviously to 95%.
If you had it your way, would you want it to be exactly the same, or are you happy with the fact that they are splitting things up now?
If they're different for a reason, like engine limitations, or just the fact that they are able to run things differently in Dota 2, or that some of the old things in Dota 1 were just stupid, I don't honestly mind.
Mistook. And there's going to be just went straight Jordan on him, trying to catch up with a
good toggles.
Oh yes, now there's because Bulldog seals the deal. There's going to be a Mystic Flare call down. And that's going to be enough to kill off one. It's 1 for 1 so far. Cheshire Cat exchanged for Admiral Bulldog. And anyway, as this continues to devolve just into pure slow madness, what if there's one feature from Dota 1, or one just whatever it was, one something about Dota 1 that's not Dota 2, that if you could snap your fingers and make be in the game, what would it be?
Creeps in the jungle sleeping at night.
You really? Like is there other than just liking it, is there like a reason? Is there like a strategic or tactical reason or a design reason?
It's different. I reported it really early on, and I believe in the start the reason it wasn't in the game was that there was an issue with the interaction of how they had made the neutral camps and coded the whole sleeping. Maybe it wasn't even implemented or something like that. But then players got used to it, and ultimately the question was, is it useful? Do we need it? Just like you asked. Is it something meaningful? And it does make a difference, obviously, but as for how meaningful it is, honestly, I don't know. But I thought it was cool and adds a little bit of flavor to the day-night cycle, as blown up will be 2 and 3. Huskar with Cold Embrace is almost immortal, by the way. He has a billion magic resist when he's low on health and infinite armor in Cold Embrace. And PR showing off once again some style points with this cute combo of theirs.
This might actually come to pass, man. I mean, we've been kind of chatting it up. 33-19. And again, we're looking to see 8 former TI competitors not just sidelined in this TI, and 3 former champions still with the original team they were with, by the way. So you're talking the majority of an original TI winning team going back to 2013 with Alliance. You're talking about seeing those 2 teams not just sidelined, but finishing in the very bottom of the group. And I'm having a hard time getting my head around that, man. Like I was fortunate enough to have literally been with Alliance when they won that Aegis, went out to dinner with them.
Okay. Speaking of dinner.
Yep. Knobs.
Matt got eaten.
Knobs.
Almost one-shot by Quappa. Bulldog's going to go in for the ambitious play of the century. It did not work. And now Loda's going to join him.
Double kill for Ditya. And by the way, yes, I know, stop tweeting me. I was misreading his name all game long, the last name. I thought it was Dirty Raw, it's Ditya Raw. I'm sorry.
Blame me for it. Sunsman called him that as well, actually.
It's something.
But he knew what his name was.
Really? Like, it's like I call Outward Valor Old Dirty, so. To say OD's Old Dirty.
Blank in from Cheshire Cat. Cogs.
Dead. Bing, 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 bing.
Okay.
But anyway, just to finish that thought, you know, I was fortunate enough to have gotten a chance right after they won, and went out to dinner with the guys and everyone else from the organization, and sitting there at the table and watching, you know, just the look of pure relief and exhaustion and happiness, and just calm on all those guys' faces. And I'm always going to remember that. It's one of the most poignant memories of my entire life. But you know, that's what makes this, for me, and I would say for a lot of people who were watched that original that TI in 2013. It's a little bittersweet whether you're an Alliance fan or not, just because, you know, times change, and it's hard to see the people that you. Players like that were basically immortalized in Dota history, and suddenly they're going to be sitting at home watching.
Yeah, you've got to hope that it makes the players hungry.
Oh yeah.
In a way, not even managing to qualify this time. It's really been a major downfall for Alliance. They win the next year. They don't get top 8, I believe. At TI4, they got 13th, I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say they didn't make it out of the prelims.
And this time they didn't even make it.
Yep.
Finishing last in the qualifiers. It's been a rough road for them. They've gone through changes. They never really found their mojo. And what you can hope for them is that they're figuring out with every passing month how to deal with it and how to get back in form or shape. And they thought they had the solution, but as it turns out, if they had one, they didn't play it in this tournament.
Yeah.
In these qualifiers, they got bested by multiple teams that on paper they are favorites against. And if you ask me in any other tournament tomorrow, Alliance playing against them, if we disregard the fact that they've lost in this tournament,
right?
Obviously the mentality would play in massively if they were playing tomorrow.
Oh,
but let's say qualies didn't happen. Alliance versus PR. I would snap call it 2-0 for Alliance.
You'd have to.
And the same against Burden United as well. And who else did they match up against? I think against 4ASC, I would probably give them a 2-1 based on recent performance, but definitely, I had Alliance picked to win this qualifier.
Yep, I think most people did.
I was super wrong.
Yeah, Alliance or NIP. And 4 Anchors, you know, we've been focusing on this, obviously, because these are the teams in front of us, but it's worth just saying 4 Anchors played their asses off in this quality, man, and in this group, and I'm really excited to see what they bring to the next level as they squeak through, not squeak through, but actually just break down the door and crash through, as they really stuck with these teams. So there's going to be a Thunder Gods Wrath, and what could be one of the final fights of Alliance's qualifier history.
Oh, nice Wyvern ult.
So good. And yeah. This is PR is actually playing. You know, it's almost heartbreaking. Couldn't they have played as well in Game 1 as they did in Game 1 throughout the rest of the qualifiers? Yep, GG, well played. So I got my Dagon at the very end, and with that, Alliance slips down into last place along with Burden United, and they see their hopes for the International 2015 come crashing to an end. And hell of a run by 4 Anchors, obviously, and NIP, who I'm pretty sure is going to be the other top 2 team coming out of this group. So congratulations to them. And yeah, any thoughts to round it out? I mean, we honestly talked about it so much towards the end that I feel like we covered most of that ground.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like we've covered everything, so I would just be repeating myself.
Yep.
But yeah, of course, one thing I haven't said is, like you said, good luck to the teams going into the playoffs.
For sure.
They will be meeting Na'Vi as well as, I believe, still undecided.
Yep, undecided
second team from the other group, so that should be really interesting to follow. I believe that is going on